Good morning to the Shins and welcome back to Tagum Doctors College, and this is again Teacher Anna, your learning partner. So last week we have talked about lesson number 5, and this is about emerging forms of creative nonfiction, testimonio, blog, Facebook, status report. So these are the part of lesson 5 unit 3. Now let's go to our last topic, and this is about Unit 4, Reading and Writing Creative Nonfiction. So we will tackle about creative writing or writing creative nonfiction and then mini critic. Now let's go to the next one. So for this unit, guys, or at the end of the unit, you're expected to first write a mini critique of a peer's work based on coherence and organization of paragraphs, development of literary elements, uses of factual information and other qualities concerning form and content. Second is analyze and interpret a well-written creative nonfiction text based on peer critique. And for the third one, you are going to write a draft of creative nonfiction piece based on the learner's memorable real life experiences. But because we just have a limited time, so you are not going to do number 3 and number 4. Okay? So we for this one, we are just going to tackle uh unit number 3, 2, and 3. So we are just going to discuss Unit 4, okay? Without any assessments. Kasi wala na mo time para mo answer. So, we just have December 18 lang taman. So that's why this is not included in the exam. At the same time, this is also not included in your assessments. Okay? So we are just going to tackle and talk about this lesson. So first, the last two lessons you will have on this course, guys, are reading and writing creative nonfiction stories, which also include the mini critique. So you will be guided on the steps in becoming a creative nonfictionist. So if you want to be a creative nonfictionist, so this is very important, and which is helpful before proceeding in writing your own one. Furthermore, some advices are recommended to proceed as a first-time writer for you to create a great story. You will encounter some non or fabulous non-fiction story that will let you critique. You can also identify its structure, so it will easy for you when doing your own. So try to have the writing creative nonfiction. So now, in writing creative nonfiction, this is a great courses online. So you can also enroll in differentiated creative nonfiction courses online. So there are also some courses kana that will help you in making your own creative nonfiction. So let's try to know the steps on how to be a creative nonfictionist. So first we need to define creative nonfiction. So define creative nonfiction. So before you can become a writer of creative nonfiction, you must first know the definition of creative nonfiction and be able to distinguish it from fiction and any other type of writing. Second is to find a story. So also called literary nonfiction, creative nonfiction is narrative. Thus, you must have a story to tell your readers. Look for interesting materials you can use and share with your readers. So, sa pinakaunang step, guys, so you need to really know and define what is a creative nonfiction. Second, you need to find a story. So, in finding a story, you need to look for an interesting materials. Like for example, maybe your life or life situations, or maybe differentiate the things that happen in your life. You can also include that, or maybe the life of your mother or father that you want to share. So that is for finding a story. So kailangan ka mangita og story nga nindot jud kay siya, or it will be very interesting for the readers to read and even share your ideas or share that experiences to others. Third is to honor the nonfiction contract. So nonfiction is not fiction or made up story. So dili ba ni siya made up story, so it should be based on evidences, facts, and real life stories. It is attack-based writings, thus it is your responsibility to tell the story objectively with the use of your memory and experiences. If possible, investigate on the subject before you start writing. So, especially in creative nonfiction, you need to investigate on the subject before you start writing. Okay? So, like for example, if you are going to make your autobiography, so you need to investigate, research about autobiography. What are the things that you are going to include, and what are the things that you shouldn't include. So, dili gamit ang imahinasyon ani, gamit lang nato ang ato ang creativity through how to write those experiences. Now, next is to write great beginning. So, ang pinakanindot jud nga introductions, mao to siya ang appetizer, kumbaga pampagana sa imong mga reader. So they lead the readers to continue reading, just as appetizers induce eaters to continue eating. Show, don't tell. It is best not to tell the story directly, as when you are doing a summary. Good writing requires that a narrative be written in such a way that action and speech are interspersed. Dialogue and description play a major role in this respect. That is, show, don't tell. Number 6 is to launch a narrative arc. So, a narrative arc, guys, is a useful tool in designing the narrative plot. So, mao ni siya ang makagamit or kanang nindot nga tool para makabuhat ta og narrative plot. So similar to an outline, so mura siyang outline, maghimo ka og outline or what we call narrative arc. For prose writing, it serves as a framework of the story. So mao na siya ang framework sa story, or mao na siya imuhang hulmahan or guide nimo para mabuo nimo to siya nga story. So, it helps the writer to sequence. So, dali mo ma-sequence asa ang first, asa ang second, third, and ana. It helps the writer to sequence in an orderly fashion the events in the narrative plot: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, denouement or resolution, and conclusion. And the number 7 is you need to use cliffhangers and page turners to your advantage. So, kasi you are going to tell a real life story, it should be kanang ano siya ba? Catchy siya. And then at the same time kanang makagigil nga, kanang makapukaw interest na mga creative nonfiction. So just like when you watch a television series, you are likely to expose to cliffhangers. Kanang kuratan ka nga, usa kay sunod ani, kanang dili makatulog ang imong reader tungod kay they are going to be very excited with what happened next. So these are the endings of episodes of the serial drama that hold the viewers. So just like the serial drama, you need also to have a cliffhangers na kanang ending sa isa ka episode or isa ka series or isa ka chapter nga kuan kay siya kanang maka-questionable, and then makapukaw interest nga gusto jud sa mga reader nga makabalo kung unsa to ang next. Next, number 8 is you need to build dramatic sentences. So kinahanglan jud na to build o dramatic sentences, like kung unsa gyud to ang feelings nga naa sa realistic view nga makita sa imong mata, you need to write it down in a very simple, compound, complex, and compound, complex nga structure. Kasi readers get bored when they encounter long reading. So kung mubasa sila og taas kay nga mga reading, then they will get bored. So that's why you need to to pukaw their emotions. So kani siya nga mga emotions mao ni siya ang mo keep going sa ilaha. Like mapukaw nimo ang ilahang dramatic side, ang ilahang kanang happy-go-lucky nga selves, and a lot more. So that's why you need to build dramatic sentences. Next is employ rhetorical devices and create emotional impact. So dapat po na po ni siya mga rhetorical devices, or we are going to employ rhetorical devices, and then we need also to create emotional impact. So rhetorical devices, guys, such as parallelism, isocolon, anadiplosis, alliteration, other figures of speech, and literary devices are useful in creating an emotional feedback. Diyak imuhang iparallel ang life sa lalaki o sa life sa babae, just like that. So there are a lot of figures of speech that you can use in making rhetorical devices. And then will also help them, and then mapukaw po ang ilahang emotional, or there would be an emotional impact. Literary writing appeals to the emotions. As such, your work must appeal to the emotions in order to be effective. Number 10, put it all together. So one of the principles of good writing is unity. So dapat na unity ang imuhang gisulat. Dili kay pataka lang sulat, going there, going north, going south, going east, going west. So you need to put it all together, the unity in writing. So it is very important that there is unity in your writing. And then every writer kana pud ang ilahang ginastrive nga ang ilahang yung work is there is a certain unity, and then all the elements incorporated in your narrative must be essential in the completion of a unified piece of writing. So for the next one, we need to reveal the characteristics or the characters in the words and action. That which provides reality in the story is the character or characters. So to make them real, you have to show their respective traits by using dialogue or depicting their actions. How their actions, however, character descriptions also help readers in understanding the characters. So number 11, guys, you need to reveal the characters in words and action. So that's why you need to be very creative in making your creative nonfiction. It is because you're going to use words and actions that reveals some of the characters. So unsa ang ilahang kakayanan, unsa ilang weaknesses, unsa itong mga butang that can make them unique. Number 12 is create compelling characters. So while the protagonist and similar major characteristic play a significant role in the story, the minor characters must be depicted in such a way that they also evoke interest, attention, or admiration. For number 13, analyze character psychology. In developing a character in a narrative, you have to do an analysis in his behavior. Your understanding of the kinds of persons your characters are real greatly facilitate the task of characterization. So you need also to analyze character psychology. So kung unsa ang gihuna-huna, unsa ang mga butang nga kaya na himuon or dili niya kayang himuon, and then if the character or the persona is going through like this, why is he or she is going through like this, like going through a great depression, why is he or she going through a great anxiety. So you need to analyze character psychology. And then number 14, you need to get inside the heads of your character. So murag imuha yung ibutang imo sarili as the character. So if I am this person, what I am going to do, and what are the things that I need to do, just like that. So next is to use narrative perspective. So you need also to use character perspective or narrative perspective. So are you going to be the first person, or are you writing your own story, or are you going to be the second person or the third person, like you are going to write the story of your mother, so you are the third person. And then omniscient, so you need to, like, all-knowing God. You need to know everything about the third person. So it should be objective and limited. So wala kay i-appeal dira nga kanang dili tinuod, so you need to be objective. And you need and the problem is that you need also, or you are also limited when it comes to third person. So next is shape your voice. So you need also to shape your voice. Is it extravagant? Is it ornate or flowery? So nighttime nga you need to be extravagant. Nighttime nga you need to be ornate, or sometimes you need to be flowery. So just like that. So mamili ka sa imuhang tono or imuhang shape sa imuhang boses. So kuan ba ka kanang isog ba ka ani nga kuan dapit, or are you going to be a narrator in this creative nonfiction? So just like that. Now number 17 is the write the gutter how to not tell a story. So lahi man guni siya sa telling just telling a story and then making a creative nonfiction. So to write the gutter how to not tell a story, so you doesn't need to kanang isulat jud mo dira step 1 step 2 sa imuhang kuan. Isulat jud mo dira tanan everything to the readers, like imuhang spoon feed. Pwede pod you need to be creative, like for this part this kanilang siya ang ako ang ipakita sa ilaha or pabalo sa ilaha, or in the second part mao na pud ni akong idungag para sa idungag sa ilahang ideas. So inana siya guys. So you need to learn how to explicitly tell a story and when to implicify narrate. Okay? Or implicitly narrate. So dapat kabalo ka kung asa dapit ka pwede mo insert, like you are just telling a story, and you need also to explicitly, or dapat makabalo ka asa kadapit ang musulat nga just like you are just narrating implicitly. So this is ginagamit ni siya para mag-build og tension in a story. Now next is number 18, you need to employ dialogue strategies in creative nonfiction. So dialogue is one of the essential elements of a narrative. As such, it brings life to the story. To produce an interesting non-fictional work, employ strategies in the use of dialogue, a blend of direct and indirect speeches. And then for number 19, you need also to research creative nonfiction. So always remember, creative nonfiction are based on facts, evidences, and things that can be seen on eyes, and even it depicts real experiences. That's why you need to investigate. You need to find facts that can support your writing. So it should be true to life items. So meaning dili siya himo-himo, but true to life items must form part of your work. That is why there is a need to gather materials for inclusion. So you need to like for his book written like blah blah blah. So sa title ana nga book nga iyang gisulat o ginani, and then you need also to cite different things or even documents that can serve na siya gid inana gid siya. He is a doctor of philosophy, just like that. So or pwede po i-include nimo tong picture sa katong iyang certificate, or maybe accomplishment niya as a doctor, just like that. So because this is a creative nonfiction, you are not writing a imaginative story, but you are writing a true to life story. Next is how to not have people hate you. So dapat kanang because a lot of writers are being hated with readers, or na-hate sila sa mga tao kasi some of them are not talking the real things or the fact that is happening really in that person life. So some of them are also kanang nagbuhat-buhat lang basta, just like reporters nga gusto lang mandaot og mga politiko or gusto lang mandaot og tao. So that's why you need to show the truth or only the truth, with prints, with documents, with evidences, that's so that people will not hate you. Next, number 21st or 21 is revise your work. So after finishing your work, so you need also to revise it. So first you have the pre-writing. So you are going to establish your structure, kung say una, unsay sunod, unsay third, unsay fourth, imo na siya i-establish ang imong structure. And then next is the writing. So gikan na nga structure nga imuhang guide, naghimo mag-writing na ka. And then next is the rewriting. So in the rewriting, you are going to revise your work. So, dapat ang imuha lang siyang i-include is katulang mga importante nga part. Ug wala na kay i-add, especially if you don't have any evidences with that. So, next, number 22 is to build your audience. So, your output is your message. So, katong imong nabuhat nga libro, imong nabuhat nga story, imong nabuhat nga real life stories are your message or messages. So, it means that you are going to communicate with your reader through your book. So that's why you need to build your audience. So who are the people that can read your your work? So is it like universal, like any age can read your book? So just like for instance with the Harry Potter of series of J.K. Rowling, it is a general general book. So even the small children that knows how to read can read the Harry Potter. Number 23 is get your work published. So, you need to publish your work kasi pag hindi mo yan ipinapublish, hindi mo yan wala ni mo nakuhaan siya o copyright nga certificate and even ownership nga certificate. So, that's mean anyone can confide your work or even use your work as their own. So, which is kanang daghan jud na siya nagapanghitabo karon because there are a lot of famous authors nga na ba kanang tapulan na mo himo og libro. So they are going to pay a lot of katong mga small authors that they can publish their work and then with their names on it. So kuan na lang ang ilang himuon like ilahan na lang what does it mean kanang i-rewrite ang katong gipambuhat sa mga small nga author. So inana siya na po yung mga nagapanghitabo jud na inana. So but I hope that you can publish or you can self-publish your book. So nowadays it is very important that you can publish your work so that it will not be copied by anyone else. Okay? Because if you are going to not establish it and even sold it, so dili jud ka makakwarta sa imong trabaho and then at the same time there is also a chance nga pwede pud siya makawat. So that's why we need to self-publish or even go to the publishing company and then try to sold our books and even sold it online. So just like ebook, so we need to establish a network or individuals who are willing and ready to help you sell and your finished product. And that's why there are a lot of publishing company that really keep in touch with a lot of authors. So they have an exclusive contracts just like that. So daghan pud kayo og mga authors and writers nga nangadato tungod because they have a very great writing styles and creative mindset. So you can also be a writer or we can also be a writer, guys. And there is also always remember that there is always a room for improvement. We can also access or assess our strengths and weaknesses as a writer. So we need to write and write until we claim success. Okay? Especially if you really love writing. So creative nonfiction is a very rewarding work. And you can also be a creative nonfictionist. So you can also write every experiences that happen in our real world. Now let's go to find a great story. So the next one is the ways on how to be a successful creative nonfictionist. So you need to find a great story. So is it your mom, your dad, or the people that you know, and even the people who is successful? So you need to find a great story. Nailabi na og kanang mga tao nga kuan kayo ba kanang they have very nice life experiences and kanang makapukaw emotion, ang ilahang life experiences. At the same time, they are very successful right now. So para ang mga reader makabalo sila ng how those people attain their success. And then number two is a great story is suspenseful. So ang great story yun guys is very suspenseful. Like there are times that kanang uh, hapit na mamatay ang isa ka tao tungod sa inani nga mga panghitabo, and then now he or she is very successful. That is also one part of a great story which is very suspenseful. Next is be a reader. So, to be one of the creative non-fictionists, or if you want to be a creative fictionist, so you need to read a lot. So, dili jud ka pwede nga mo stop of reading, because in that way, you can create your, or you can imagine how to be very good or how to be a clever writer. So, you need to be a reader. Number 4, you need to access is essential. So, you need to, jud ka ng, na jud kay access. Like, for example, for journalism, for, mga publishing, or mga company for publishing. So, if you have an access to them, then that is a very good idea, or a very good concentration to concentrate on writing. Next is number 5, what is it about actually? So, you need really to know kung unsa gyud ang imuhang gusto nga ipahayag sa imuhang mga reader, or unsa gyud ni siya actually, sinana siya. And then number 6, you need to maintain the truthfulness. To it has to be true. So tinuod dapat. That's why we need differentiated evidences. Number 7, you need also to be clear. So dapat klaro. So, dapat klaro kung ansa ang imuhang gusto nga ipahayag sa imuhang reader. Next is you need to be strong. Okay? So, it has to be, na siya nindot kaayo nga ending. So, nindot kay siya pagka sulat, and then clear and concise siya pagkasulat. So, nanagid siya ang dapat ending niya. Like, kanang makaingon jud ka ba nga that's why he or she is very successful, because inani puday ang iyahang ginabuhat, just like that. For number 9, so you need also to know, are you the first person or the third person? So ato na ni na-discuss ganina. And then the last one is do as you're told. So especially if you are writing a creative non-fiction for someone. So, kung unsa gito ang ilahang gistorya, kung unsa gito ang ilahang dapat imo to siyang i-record. At the same time, mao lang gito siya ang imuhang isulat. No more, no less. Okay? So, do as you're told. So, buingon ang imuhang kuan, or mingon to imong interview nga dapat inaani lang gyud siya, inaani ayo na idungagi, and then dapat ipabasa nimo sa iya kung satisfied ba siya sa outcome sa imuhang pagsulat as a creative non-fictionist. So that would be all, guys. That is the last part of our lesson. For the mini critic, you are going to read about the critic of J.K. Rowling's speech during the Harvard University. So no need to discuss that, because you are just going to read about the example of its critic. So that's why you need to really remember the things that you need to do in creating non-fictionist or non-fiction. And if you want to be someday a creative non-fictionist, so basin maoday ni imuhang calling, so you need to read a lot. Okay? So that is the first step, guys. So thank you so much, guys, for having our lessons today. So always remember to do your best. And because inabot mo ang last part ng ating classes, so I will be giving 10 points. Okay? 10 points if you mark, or if you write sa last part sa imuhang essay, sa imuhang final exam or second quarter exam, I will be giving plus 10 points if you write thank you Ma'am Ana. Okay? Thank you Ma'am Ana sa last part sa imuhang ano, essay. Okay, so that would be 10 points. So that means you really listen to this last video. So thank you so much. Have a great day, traditions, and always remember to make your parents proud. See you. Bye.